Hello, YouTube viewers. This is Clyde. Don't go against nature. Clyde, the wanderer. Clyde ain't no angel. My special guest is Tamara Makar. She's calling me from Atlanta, Georgia. How you doing, man?
Yes, I'm doing very, very good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. How's the weather in Atlanta?
You know what? It is actually pretty nice today, but they say that the rain is coming, tonight or, well, definitely tomorrow. So it's going to be raining tomorrow. Today, it's beautiful, nice and bright.
Were you outside or?
Well, I'm actually outside of Atlanta. I'm not in Atlanta. I'm a little bit
Oh, okay.
more on the outskirts. I don't like big cities. So
Uh,
I'm kind of in the woods, which I really like. So it's very nice here. Yes, it's very nice. I like nature and yeah, it's
you
lovely
don't
today.
you don't like the city too much. You're not like a city person too
Nah, I
much.
never did. I never did. So I always try to live a little bit, on the outskirts. It's too busy for me. You cannot drive, you cannot park. Too many people. So it's always nice, and it's quiet here. It's quiet. In the city, it's always so noisy.
Oh, okay. I live in New York City, and it's kind of crazy out here. I mean, the
I can
weather's nice,
imagine.
but it's a lot. You never been to New York City, have you?
No, I was up in New Jersey about 3 or 4 weeks ago,
Mm.
and yeah, so some people mentioned to me that yeah, you should go to New York City once, and I do want to go to New York City once, but honestly, I would really like to go there with someone who can literally take me to the places, show me the places, because I don't want to go to any places that I shouldn't.
Right.
And I'm guessing there are some, so I wouldn't mind, having a guide or something, who can one day I would go in. Also, I wouldn't want to drive in, obviously,
You're
because
right.
it would be crazy. And just to, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't get lost on the. What do you have? A subway, right? It is called a
Right.
subway.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
We have subways.
yeah. We call it the tube in the UK. So yes, I'm pretty sure that if I could learn how the tube works, I could learn how the subway works too. But
Yeah, I'm
it
sure.
would
I'm
be
sure.
easier with someone, someone who could tell you that yeah, you get off here, let's go here, let's go there, instead of trying to get it from the map.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of complicated. You just got to get used to it. That's all. They have maps and stuff. Sometimes
oh,
you
I
might
know.
have to ask. You might have to ask around for the right person to the right person and stuff. But I'm
Yeah,
sure
that's
you'll
why
get.
I'm saying that probably I'm just going to ask one of my friends to just spend the day with me.
Right.
I'm going to go in just or come out, to New Jersey for me, and let's go in on public transport, so that I don't have to use my car, and just show me around. And it's probably the easiest way, because if I go alone, I don't think I would get lost, but
Right.
I would probably waste a lot of time by trying to figure it out, where to go, how to get there, and all that.
Do
Yeah.
you have like where you from? Like do you have gyms that you work out or a lot of gyms or
You
I
mean
take
here where I live now?
yeah in Atlanta. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I'm
yeah, of
trying.
course. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, honestly, I traveled up and down in the US only on the East Coast. I've never been to the West Coast, but there was only literally one place where I stopped to fill up the car, and it was on the way to Denver. And I was roughly about 1.5 hours from Denver. And the guy at the petrol station, he was really sweet. He was looking at me and he was like, "Oh, yes, I can see that you're working out. I'm trying to work out at home and use whatever I can." And I was like, "What do you
Right.
mean, whatever you can? Well, why don't you just go to a gym?" And he said, "Because the closest gym is in Denver, which is 1.5 hours drive." I was like,
Oh
"What?"
wow.
Yeah, that was the only place where I even heard about this. In the US, you wouldn't expect, areas without access to a gym, to be honest. So I was quite surprised.
So so you was born
Hungary,
Hungary?
yes,
Okay.
Hungary, Hungary, yes.
Okay. Um, and how long you was you there? Like you was born there? How long
Listen, the
was your childhood?
sound just went again. I can barely
Yeah, I'm
understand what
sorry.
you're saying.
You hear me now?
I can hear you, but it literally does the same thing that it did last time or the first time when we tried
Yeah,
to. Can you not hear it? I'm sure you can.
yeah.
The static noise.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. So how long you stayed in Hungary?
Well, I stayed there until my mid 20s, and then I moved to the UK.
Okay, okay. How
Yeah.
was it? How was it like in the UK? Like in bodybuilding?
Well,
I think it was,
this is where I actually started getting into bodybuilding, but not straight away when I moved in there. But I trained in different gyms, and then eventually, obviously, I happened to join a gym that was quite serious. You know, there were quite a few serious athletes there, and yeah, there was a lady there who was an IFBB pro, a British IFBB pro, and she kind of encouraged me and helped me at the beginning, you know, with my diet. But that was probably a good, I would say, 13 years ago. It was a long, long time ago.
okay. So what's it like when you first competed?
Well, that was
Like
back in
how did you feel?
2011. That was like 11 years ago. And I never actually thought that I would be able to stand on stage and diet down to that level because I always loved my food, and I was literally scared of the whole process, you know, how I'm gonna be able to do it, if I'm gonna be able to do it at all. So it was an achievement in itself that I could actually stand on stage. I looked, you know, kind of presentable enough to to stand on stage. Yes.
Was you nervous?
I'm sorry.
Was you nervous? Like did you like when you first competed? Like was you nervous? Like in front of all those people? You had to do those poses.
Oh, I was. Of course, I was. I was very nervous. Even though in the UK, well, actually, even here, you have a lot of competitions. In the UK, there are competitions as well, quite a lot. But back then, about 11, 12 years ago or 13 years ago, they usually had like regional competitions. So I usually went to like two or three competitions to watch every year. It was even before I started competing, and probably this is how I got, you know, the bug to try and stand on stage. So even though I've been to, or at that time I've been to a few competitions, of course I was nervous. Of course, you know, people don't realize how much actually goes into it to be confident on stage. It takes a lot of practice of the posing and everything. So, and obviously you have to be confident in the way you look. So I think it takes time. I don't think if you ever ask anyone that how they felt at their first competition, I don't think anyone would say that, oh, I was 100% confident, you know, and I enjoyed the process. Yes, you enjoy it, but you're literally scared. Scared for your
Did
life.
you
Yeah.
did anybody ever approach you like ask you for like advice, how to like start or
Well, I do get a lot of messages, especially on social media, on Facebook, you know, younger people. When I say younger, I'm talking about, you know, young guys in their 20s that
yeah.
they want to get into bodybuilding, they want to compete. And honestly, I always tell them that it's not what you see. It's not what you see. You just see that, you know, some people obviously look really good, and then they go to the competition and they look great on stage. But all these people, they have no idea what goes into it, because you don't see that. Now you probably see a little bit more on social media, but let's be honest, we don't actually post our struggles on social media. You see the good workouts when everything is fine and everyone is happy. But when you are tired and drained, and especially during the contest prep, we don't post that when you're like, oh, I just want to get home, I just want to sleep. You don't see this side of the prep. You only see the side of the prep when we look pumped and in shape, and oh, it's great, we can work out.
So I mean, like, I've heard stories about, the bodybuilder struggles. Like, what kind of like inspired you to do it? What got you to do this? Because it's obviously it's not an easy sport. Like anybody can't do it. Like I
Well,
notice it's I don't know if like the will determination. How do you what drives you to do it? If you don't mind me
well,
asking.
yeah, of course. I actually started training when I was 14 years old. And I used to
Right.
do Kyokushin karate, martial arts. And it was something that, it's something different. I never wanted to be like everybody else. I never wanted to do what everybody else was doing. I always wanted to do something different. I always wanted to stand out. Not because it was something, that I consciously wanted to do, but for example, when I was 5 years old, I decided I wanted to play the piano. No one plays the piano in my family, but I
Oh, you play
decided,
the piano?
yeah. So I decided that I wanted to play the piano. When I was 7 years old, I decided that I wanted to learn English. So I don't know where it came from, because my family is not like this. No one was actually doing any sports in my family. My
I thought
sister plays the
you.
piano, but only because I insisted that I wanted to go to do classes. So she obviously came with me. But, I don't know, it's just kind of an idea. And yeah, I started training when I was 14. And then I I just decided that I wanted to do bodybuilding. It's just something that I wanted to do, and I think it's my nature that once I decide that I want to do something, I'm actually serious about it. So I don't just like start up everything, little things, and then leave them. But I can still play the piano. Obviously, I still speak English, and I'm still training. So all these things I started when I was a child, and they kind of accompanied me throughout my life. So whenever I start something, I start it because I want to do it and I enjoy it.
How far you went with the piano?
Well, you know what? My last teacher, I was actually taking classes for a good about 10 years. And my last
Okay.
teacher, when I was 18, he wanted me to go to like musical college and study music and become a musician. And this is
Oh,
where
okay.
when I said, no, I enjoy playing this. It's nice and I still love it, but I don't think I want to do it as for the living. I don't want to do it like every day. I want to do it when I enjoy doing it.
Okay. You're a fitness trainer, right? How long you been doing that?
Well, I actually started doing it when, yeah, about 10 years ago, when I was a world champion as an amateur. When I won the world championships, it kind of pushed me to do that instead of what my full-time job was, which was in sales. And I did the course, the PT course, obviously. and then I left my job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so training people that I've been doing for about 10 years now. Yes. But training
So
myself,
like
I've been doing that for over 25. Yeah.
with competing, like so I noticed that you traveled around the world and compete.
Oh, yes, I did. As an amateur. Yes, I did. Oh, wow. Yes. Yes, because, I just wanted to compete with different federations, obviously get more trophies. So, when I first, actually, in my second year of competing, I was a world champion and then a British champion. So after that, I was thinking, okay, so there are other, not natural, so amateur federations, not natural. There are other amateur federations, I want to go and compete with those too and maybe get more trophies on those because let's be honest, once you competed with one federation and you got the world championship title and the British championship title, then what, you go again for it, what's the point? So this was the NAC Federation, which we don't have here in the US. And then I switched to NABA, which you may have heard of because it's probably just as old, if not older than the IFBB. So I believe NABA was the first federation and then IFBB was formed. But Arnold Schwarzenegger competed with NABA at the beginning, Alina Popper competed with NABA. So a lot of people, before they became famous at the IFBB, they used to compete with NABA.
Right.
So I used to compete with NABA as well. And because I was already a world champion in a different federation, they provided me with an invite to their world championships. And that championship was always in a different country. So I competed in Brazil, I competed in France, I competed in Russia, I competed in Ireland. I don't know. I competed in so many places. Malta. Yes, I traveled a lot to compete with that federation. Italy. Yeah, loads of places. Yeah.
You never competed in the Olympia, Miss Olympia, anything like that. I don't
They don't have the Olympia.
know. Oh, you did?
No, as an amateur, no.
Hello?
I was competing with another
Oh,
federation.
oh, what's the could you explain to me what's so special about the pro card? Like,
A
what's
pro
the
card.
significance?
Well, the
Yeah, like,
significance of the pro card would be that it could potentially give you a chance to compete at the Olympia if you qualify. Yes.
oh, okay, I got you. Okay, okay. And you did, and you got it, and you right? No, you never did.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat it because I didn't understand it?
No, you. So when you got your pro card, have you ever competed in Olympia?
No, I never qualified for the Olympia.
Oh, oh. You're not interested. Like, you're not interested in the
No, I
Olympia. Or,
never qualified.
oh, you never.
You
How
have
does
to
it take to be
qualify.
qualified?
The pro card just gives you a chance, but you need to compete
Oh,
at qualifiers to be able to
oh, okay.
qualify for the Olympia, and then you can compete at the Olympia.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Uh, I think that's about it.
Okay.
I ran out of questions. No, now one more thing. I noticed. I see you do pictures and stuff like that. I admire your pictures. And how was it? How does it feel? Is it the same thing as competing when you're like?
I'm so sorry. You need to repeat that because I could barely understand what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying like I noticed your pictures doing a photo shoot.
Yes.
How did you when you first started doing that? How did you feel? Was you nervous on your first day? Did you
Oh
get
my God, on a photo shoot, you mean?
yeah
Oh God, yeah. Well, it wasn't actually that bad. It's really interesting because my very first photo shoot as an amateur before my very first competition was with also an amateur photographer back in the UK. And I can't remember where I met that guy, but basically he was doing something else for work, and he was just a hobby photographer. But he was actually pretty good. So he thought, okay, well, I've never shot pictures like this before, with fitness girls or anything, no fitness shot. So yeah, maybe we could do a shoot together. And you know what? I this might sound crazy to you, but I was never in that shape in my life, like when I was obviously leading up to the first competition. And I had abs, and it was like, yes, I've got abs on the picture. It was just something, yeah, something that I literally that is one of my favorite photo shoots because of this feeling that, oh shit, I actually look pretty good, and because that was one of my problems before. And when I say before, literally before I decided to hire a coach who can get me on stage, that I couldn't decide if I wanted to stand on stage or not. I always wanted to get into competition shape, but I never had the self-confidence. And I always thought, nah, I don't think I would look that good, that I would feel good on stage. I would be too shy. And when I did that very first photo shoot and I saw the pictures, I was like, yeah, okay, well, I don't think I've ever seen myself like that, so it's gonna be okay. So yeah, it was interesting. It wasn't nerve wracking or anything because the guy was an amateur as well, so we kind of worked well together. But when I had my first professional shoot, that was a little bit, it was actually more scary in my head than it was the shoot itself, because my first professional shoot was probably, I would say, it was with Annie here. I had some shoots back in the UK, but I know the guy who was shooting. So it was different with him. We trained in the same gym. He was doing powerlifting, and he always had his camera on him. So whenever he saw not just me but anybody else, working hard, he just grabbed his camera and started taking pictures in the middle of his own workout because he loved it. He literally loved taking pictures, and his pictures are really, really good. So with him, it wasn't really a photo shoot as such, but he took some pictures. And then when I came to the US, my very first photo shoot was with Annie Rivecchio. She's my friend now, and I really love her to bits. She is one of the very few genuine ones left in this sport, I have to say. And it was so easy to work with her. She literally guides you. She tells you what to do, where to look, what, literally, she tells you everything. So it's just so easy to work with her.
yeah, I noticed that Annie she does photo shoots. It's really
Yes.
like I always had a dream of taking being a photographer for female bodybuilders or women athletes in general. 'Cause I think when it
Yes, she's very
I
good. She's very good with photography itself. So it doesn't take long for her to set up the location or anything because she's ready, literally. And then she's got the outfit. She knows what would look good on you. You know, she's got a real good eye for this. She's got a real good eye for this. So I think I was blessed that she was my first, serious photo shoot because it was
Yeah.
very easy to work with her. Yeah.
Um, what else questions I can ask you? I think that's about it.
Okay.
I
No
appreciate
problem.
you.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you very much. And yeah, just let me
No problem.
know how everything goes. And if you need any help, any more help or something, just let me know. Okay?
Would you want me to send you the link? You know, the last time when we filmed, you didn't sound that bad. You really did. It was my part. It just killed
Okay.
it. But you sounded good. I wanted to. I I didn't know whether to like put it out there yet, but it was like somebody told me to wait. It was like, oh, I don't know, maybe she might have it or something like that. I was just sure because I didn't hear from
Okay.
you, and I was like, it was killing me. But you sounded nice, though. I just didn't know. It was just it was the outlet or something. But then I'm in this room. I'm at the library. That's why I didn't want to
Ah,
go. Yeah. I'm
okay.
gonna be working there soon. I'm just I always like hanging out in the library, so I just said let me go to the library. But then it's like the same thing and stuff. But it's bad. It didn't go. So
Well, I hope it worked this time. And yeah, just send me a link so that I can see as well where you're gonna post it. Probably I can post it for you too, just to advertise for your channel. So yeah, just let me know. Okay?
yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope that goes
No,
well for you.
no
All
problem. You
right.
enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay?